Call the May 6, 2024 Prairie Planning Commission special meeting to order. Purpose of this meeting is for conduct a public hearing for the comprehensive zoning map and comprehensive development code that we've been working on for the past 2 years.
And I will apologize, there's a little confusion on the times that were published. The public hearing was to be at 6 and the council meeting 6:30. But we're just going to reopen up for public comments. Planning Commission is, and then following public comments, they will vote on the development code and the zoning map. And just a review of what we've already kind of talked about. This process goes back for 2 years. City Council and Planning Commission have met many, many times on both the development code as well as the new zoning maps. This is a comprehensive zoning map, which means the entire city is being rezoned at one time. That's not to say that many of those areas are staying exactly as they were zoned before. But it also involves the creation of a number of new commercial districts, which are mostly mixed use districts now. So all of our commercial districts now have some level of mixed use in them where they didn't before. And I think that's probably the major change that we have in the zoning maps. Juliet, would you like to say anything else?
I think that's right. I mean, I think there's some of these mixed use districts, the smaller mixed use districts that are kind of the core of the city that are reflective of kind of the types of commercial mixed use that are already there and scale to keep that character place.
And I think Juliet already touched on this earlier, but one of the goals that I think the Planning Commission had was to try to honor the uses that are already in place. Obviously, if you own a piece of property and you're using it for something, you don't want the city to come in and say, well, you can't do that anymore. So we did try to look at that and consider that in all of their deliberations on looking at the various areas of the new zoning map. But a lot of that, like the highway corridor, which much of it was still agricultural, it was obvious that it needed to be commercial. So that change has taken place. And at this time, that's all I've got to say if you want to open it up for public comments.
Do we have any public comment concerning the plans?
JC, were there any planned activities like subdivision or something like that, that the new zoning would conflict with something not that's there currently, but having started with the planning commission?
The development code, I mean, there are probably a few that have already started that this new code would change something, would have changed it had, right, but if it's already started, it's not going to.
I'll give you an example. Job and Carrick is building a food court. He would have fallen into the large scale developments if the new code had been in place. And the new code, of course, the development code is different from the zoning map, but the new development code, which goes into effect, it does have some requirements. For example, on large scale developments, any commercial project now is subject to large scale, where in the past they had to be a touch more than 1 acre. So there is some changes, but I think primarily the biggest change in the new development code from a subdivision standpoint is we went from cookie cutter minimum lot sizes to density-based zoning. So instead of saying they had to have 10,000 square foot minimum, now it just says 4 per acre. If they want a little, a couple little smaller lots and then a couple bigger lots, we don't care as long as the overall density meets the requirement. So I think that's the biggest thing. And that's just a thing that I think it will help developers develop better projects. I think they'll have more flexibility in how they develop their subdivisions. If they want an area that's got smaller lots in it, they can do that, but that means they have to have larger lots somewhere else within the subdivision to equal that out.
Anyone else? It's my understanding we need to vote as the planning commission.
Yes, you need to make a motion, Parker, if you'll help me to. Someone needs to make a motion to approve new zoning map and the development code. And recommend it to the council? Send it on to the council.
Make a motion to refer the development code and approve the development code and zoning map.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the zoning map and development code and refer to city council. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Is approved. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Come back, go get the.
At least bring this.
I'll get her.
Yeah. Keep seeing.
I'm very excited.
Huh?
I hated you. I could tell by the way you would. Oh, really paid for this.
As a reminder to everyone, we are still recording. We're just gonna go straight. And so.
You want to be like me when you grow up, don't you? Don't you, Larry?
You getting it ready? Make sure it's still on. Yes.
I know that's so messed.
Well, it's a little redundant, but good afternoon, everyone. And we appreciate y'all coming to the conclusion of our public hearing and then the starting of our city council. And with that, I will call to order the Monday, May 6th, 2024 special meeting of the Prairie City Council. Roll call.
Rick Alt,
Here.
Rick Clayton, Sue Plush, here, Tony Cunningham.
Here.
Paula Ditmore. Here. Bree Greg, here, Chris Powell. Doug Stumble.
Here.
The first thing on our agenda is city ordinance to approve the comprehensive zoning map, comprehensive development code that we just had our public meeting on. Do you have any?
I have a couple questions
Okay.
on the park fee, about flipping it to where they give the fee first, is the first choice, the land donation is second, instead of having land and then. Or the fees to use for existing parks, buy land for other parks. Whoever requests zoning of it.
It's in the development.
It's in the development code, it's just all the fees that you would pay. So they would pay the fee instead of, would be the first option, and the land is
The
second.
way it's working now, it says that they will give land in lieu of unless the planning commission and city council determine that there's not a need for it, and then they pay the fee. Or they have,
What does that do? What does that do? More park, it gives more park money than, but, okay.
And then those like on this side of the highway, there's no park. Buy land.
So does it change it to the fact of the options only, it's only there if we don't want that money?
No, because the fees first, and then the land, if they come like Popper Hill that came and said they were gonna build all these, we could take the land. So it just flips the order, the fees first instead of the land first.
Okay.
So everything else stays the same, it's just flipping the two.
Are the
But I guess what I'm saying, right, because right now it's land first, fee second. So they can just go ahead and donate the land and never, I shouldn't say donate the land. They can use the land, but not give us a fee. So you want when a developer comes in that first step is that they have to give a fee unless we approve the land.
Because the land might be junk.
can I recommend that maybe we do that as an amendment next month or the month after this code, just simply to give us time to think about that and write it? Would that be okay? 'Cause I think we need to give some thought to that, how that's gonna be worded, I think just get it wrong.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna vote on one top of that, I was gonna let Parker do his work.
Because I think you're just worried about getting junk land, nobody anything with it, right?
What I'm saying is we go ahead and adopt the development code tonight, and then we'll work on that change and bring it back to the, if that's okay.
And then I saw on mobile food carts, there's $100 yearly fee down there.
That's been changed.
Okay, I saw the one online, so I was
It's been
reading.
changed.
Okay, I knew we had voted on all that, and I was like, no, I think that contradicts what we just. voted on.
Everything you voted on the other night's been changed.
Right, yeah.
Okay, well, that was.
Yeah,
that's
that's a
the
good
one
thing.
online I looked up today on the city's website.
Or correct, I said you're still in there, because y'all,
This is on
it hadn't got
the.
into effect.
On the parkland stuff though, we do keep a pretty watchful eye, or we have as of late, as to the way they're doing it and what they're doing with it. That's part of their,
Make sure it's something.
to make sure it's usable land. And we, if it's, the runoff ditch, that doesn't count. So,
Yeah, I think it's been working fairly well because I'll be honest, Rick, you can agree or disagree, but most of the time, the land subdivided, or developers bring us is really not what we want for parks. And they've denied more than they've approved. Copper Hill, they approved, but, with Copper Hill, they've agreed to, keep it as part of the POA, so the city doesn't have to maintain it.
I just know we're struggling to even maintain the parks we have and do improvements.
That's
With
what's nice
request for
about
more.
Copper Hill, it's gonna be part of the POA.
I thought with the fee being first, that would help us on that side.
And I think the last 3 finals that we've done, they,
Shayla had some land and fee.
we haven't done the final on phase 2 of it yet. The final phase.
Just the land in there, storage buildings.
It was denied.
Oh, denied? I remember when they came presented.
Like the Springs paid in lieu of, Snyder Grove paid in lieu of, that's.
So when,
That was only 2 things I had.
Okay.
That I noticed.
and we're gonna work on that amendment. We'll bring it
Like
back
the Springs
to,
paid the higher fee. They actually paid the higher.
Mr. Parker, if it's approved tonight, there'll be the normal waiting period before it goes into effect unless we do an emergency.
There is an
We're gonna do an
emergency.
emergency.
There is one prepared.
Okay.
and we had plans to talk to y'all about the emergency clause,
I was
because
gonna
we
ask
do
what
have a
the-
lot of
what the
developers
purpose
been,
of the Emergency is.
a lot of the developers have been waiting, and we've continued to push off this planning and zoning map, and they would continue to wait, and so some of them's been waiting. I don't want to over exaggerate,
December.
I'm about to say 4 or 5 months.
We've got one engineer that's been waiting in December, and I keep telling him month to month, and.
Gotcha. Now this brings it up by, is it 90 days?
60.
Okay.
60 from the day it's either published or posted.
Right.
Any more? Any other comments?
Move suspend the rules, place the ordinance first reading title only.
I do have an emotion second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Rick Hall,
Yes.
Sue Pluck. Yes. Tony Cunningham.
Yes.
Paula Ditmore,
Yes.
Bree Greg. Yes. Chris Powell.
Yes.
Doug Stumble.
Yes.
An ordinance to approve a revised zoning map and adopt a comprehensive development code.
Move first and the rules waive second, third reading, adopt the ordinance. Second.
Once again, I have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Rick Hall,
Yes.
Sue Pluck. Yes. Tony Cunningham.
Yes.
Paula Ditmore,
Yes.
Bree Greg. Yes. Chris Powell.
Yes.
Doug Stumble.
Yes.
The emergency clause, does it come in as a resolution? So do we just,
No.
or is it- it's all.
Let me read it. Here's it. The city council hereby finds that there is pending development within the city that is awaiting the new development code. Such development will be delayed, causing financial impact on the developers. For these reasons, the council finds that an emergency exists, this ordinance shall take effect immediately.
So moved.
It's a vote, isn't it? So I need a
Yes.
second.
Yeah, but we don't have to roll call.
I got you, but I have a motion, so I need a second.
Second.
So I do have a
I'll
motion.
take the second.
I'm sorry. I do have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Emergency clause passes. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. I move to adjourn. So move.